This podcast is brought to you by Three Rivers Energy Partners. In today's episode of Digest This.
The report found that the biomass supply available for RNG production has jumped by 17% since 2019.
And the policy incentives aren't just for big energy producers. They're designed to support farmers, too.
It could cut greenhouse gas emissions by over 300 million metric tons every year.
Welcome to Digest This, Unpacking Our Sustainable Future, where we dive deep into the latest developments in sustainability and renewable energy. Join us in exploring the pioneering solutions and technologies that are shaping our future. Now, let's dive into today's episode.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Digest This, Unpacking Our Sustainable Future. I'm Alex, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Emily. Today, we're diving into something that's been making a lot of headlines lately, renewable natural gas, or RNG. Emily, did you get a chance to look at the new American Gas Foundation report?
I did, Alex, and honestly, the numbers are pretty striking. The report found that the biomass supply available for RNG production has jumped by 17% since 2019. That's a huge leap in just a few years. If you look at the resource potential, it's actually enough to meet the energy needs of every U.S. household currently using natural gas. And, get this, it could cut greenhouse gas emissions by over 300 million metric tons every year. That's not a small number.
Yeah, and what really stands out to me is how RNG can use the existing 2.8 million miles of natural gas pipelines we already have. I mean, we've talked in past episodes about the cost and complexity of building new infrastructure for renewables, right? But with RNG, you're basically plugging into what's already there. No need for massive new investments or waiting years for new pipelines to get approved.
Exactly. And that's a big deal for decarbonization. Instead of ripping out old systems, we can retrofit and use what we have. Plus, RNG is storable and dispatchable, so it's available when you need it, not just when the sun's shining or the wind's blowing. That flexibility is something a lot of other renewables struggle with.
Right, and the report also points out that while RNG production costs are higher than traditional natural gas, it's still a cost-effective way to cut emissions compared to, say, electrifying everything and having to upgrade the entire grid. I think the stat was that RNG can reduce emissions at a cost between 1/3 and 1/10 of what it would take to do the same with all-electric homes using heat pumps. That's a pretty compelling argument for businesses and policymakers.
And it's not just about emissions. There's a real economic angle here, too.
That's right, RNG cuts emissions and protects jobs, especially in rural areas. I mean, we saw something similar in our first episode this season, where we talked about how biogas investments are driving rural prosperity. It's all connected.
Absolutely, and as more utilities and communities get on board, we're going to see even more innovation, whether it's new tech, better policy, or just smarter coordination between everyone involved. It's a really exciting time for RNG.
Speaking of policy, let's talk about the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. I know, the name is a mouthful, but it's actually a pretty big deal for the biogas industry. Emily, want to break down what's in the bill?
Sure. So the act was just signed into law, and the American Biogas Council is really celebrating this one. The main thing is it preserves key incentives for clean fuel production and power generation. That means developers have more certainty to plan and invest, which is huge for long-term projects. There's also a focus on making sure American producers using U.S. and North American feedstocks can compete fairly, and it keeps strong values for a manure-based biogas. That's important for farmers who are looking to turn waste into revenue.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is how the bill really recognizes the value of recycling, decomposable waste, farms, food systems, wastewater plants. All that stuff we usually think of as a problem is now part of the solution. It's not just about generating electricity, but also fueling transportation and supporting local economies. And, as we discussed in our episode on sustainable farming, these kinds of incentives can really help farmers weather market volatility.
Exactly. And the policy incentives aren't just for big energy producers. They're designed to support farmers, too. Waste-to-energy initiatives mean farmers can turn manure and crop waste into a new revenue stream while also reducing their environmental impact. It's a win-win, and it helps build resilience in rural communities.
But it isn't just the bill that is helping out the local farmers through RNG. Other RNG projects supports farmers as well. Take what we are doing at our anaerobic digester facilities in Kentucky and Tennessee. At these facilities, we convert stillage from major distilleries into biogas, supplying renewable energy to local communities. Local farmers benefit significantly from this by way of our digestate. The digestate produced from this process serves as an excellent natural fertilizer, and we are able to make it available to them at a discount compared to commercial fertilizers. This creates a unique win-win scenario, benefiting businesses, local agriculture, and the environment alike.
Absolutely, Alex. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act is just the latest example of how government action can help unlock more of these projects, making it easier for communities and businesses to invest in biogas and RNG. It's about building momentum and making sure the benefits are shared widely.
Yeah, and I think we're just scratching the surface. There's a lot more to come as these incentives kick in and more folks get involved. But for now, that's all the time we've got for today's episode. Emily, always a pleasure talking with you.
Same here, Alex, and thanks to everyone for tuning in. We'll be back soon with more on the latest in renewable energy and sustainability. Take care, Alex.
You too, Emily, and thanks to all our listeners. See you next time on Digest This. Thank you for listening to Digest This, Unpacking Our Sustainable Future, a Three Rivers Energy Partners podcast. Three Rivers Energy Partners is a renewable energy company that empowers organizations with the ability to create a sustainable future by converting organic waste streams into renewable energy and resources. To get the latest episode of Digest This, or to find out more about Three Rivers Energy Partners, visit threeriversenergy.com or find us on LinkedIn, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. The sustainable future is being created right now. Keep exploring and keep up to speed with the latest in renewable energy and sustainability. See you next time.